this episode, we will talk about the hidden power of speech and mind, a place where words are not just sounds, but seeds, and your mind is the fertile soil in which they grow. In every moment, whether we realize it or not, we are speaking our world into existence through thoughts, through inner dialogue, through the quiet stories we repeat to ourselves. Here, we explore the sacred intersection between speech and consciousness, between the voice you use and the reality you create. This channel is for thinkers, dreamers, seekers, for those who understand that life doesn't just happen to you, but through you. Drawing from the wisdom of mystics like Neville Goddard and the science of neuroplasticity, linguistics, and subconscious programming, we dive deep into the truth behind your inner speech and how it shapes your external world. You'll learn how to rewire your subconscious through intentional language, align your words with your identity and desires, shift from passive thought to deliberate creation, because your speech is not a reflection of your reality, it is the cause of it. Each episode is an invitation to speak differently, to think deliberately, and to live consciously. This is speech and mind. And this is where your transformation begins. There was a time when I didn't realize how destructive my self-talk had become. Every goal I pursued felt like a battle. I was unknowingly affirming lack, fear, and failure every time I opened my mouth, or even just thought about what was next. But once I became aware of my inner dialogue, everything shifted. In a world where we're constantly bombarded with noise, opinions, media, stress, distraction, few people ever pause to ask, what am I saying to myself? What am I thinking repeatedly in the silence of my own mind? And is it shaping my life? The answer is yes, profoundly, consistently, unconsciously. You are not just a passive observer of your life. You are the narrator, the thinker, the speaker, the builder. And the tools of your creation are always the same: your mind and your speech. What you say, both out loud and silently, becomes a signal, a frequency, a program running through your subconscious mind. Every day, your inner voice whispers stories. And whether those stories are ones of growth, peace, and possibility, or stories of lack, fear, and limitation, your outer life begins to mirror them. Not because the world is out to get you, but because your mind is built to obey you. What you impress upon your subconscious through language becomes law. This is not mysticism. This is biology. This is neuroscience. This is quantum resonance. And yes, it's also ancient wisdom. From the Hermetic principle of mentalism, to the words of Neville Goddard, to the discoveries of modern science, the message is the same. Your imagination is reality in the making, and your speech is how you instruct it. The mind is like fertile ground, and every word is a seed. Most people keep planting weeds, stories of stress, worry, unworthiness, and then wonder why their garden is overgrown with chaos. But when you start speaking with awareness, you plant different seeds. You water the life you want, not the one you're trying to escape. Let me ask you, what do you say when no one's listening? What silent assumptions guide your daily actions? Because when you say, I'm tired of this, I never get what I want, I'm not good enough, your brain listens, your body listens, your life listens. But when you begin to say, I am changing, my words have power, I am becoming who I was meant to be, you send new instructions, you rewrite the code, you begin a new timeline. Modern neuroscience confirms what ancient mystics and spiritual teachers have taught for centuries. Your thoughts, and more importantly, your words, physically shape your brain. This isn't metaphor, it's neuroplasticity. The brain's remarkable ability to rewire itself based on repeated experience. Every time you speak, whether out loud or silently in your mind, you're reinforcing neural pathways. You're telling your brain, this is important. Pay attention to this. Make it easier to think and feel this way again. Over time, these pathways become stronger, more automatic, more dominant. This is why repeated self-talk, especially emotionally charged language, can either empower you or trap you in cycles of fear, doubt, or self-sabotage. For example, if you often say things like, "I never get things right," "I'm not lucky," or "this is just who I am," your brain treats those words as truth even if they aren't, and then it begins to filter your experience to match that narrative. It literally edits your reality so that you notice only the moments that confirm what you've already spoken. It's called confirmation bias, and it's not just a mental habit. It's a neurological shortcut designed to keep your worldview intact. But the moment you begin to practice what we call conscious speech and mental intention, everything starts to shift. This means you're no longer speaking habitually. You're speaking deliberately. You're no longer thinking reactively. You're thinking creatively and intentionally. When you say, "I am evolving," "I am learning," "I speak with purpose," every word I speak is guiding me toward clarity and purpose. My words are shaping a new reality. You're engaging in a powerful act of neurological rewiring. You're not just being poetic. You're sending new instructions to the brain. You're not pretending. You're programming. You're not escaping reality. You're authoring it. This is why affirmations work when they are spoken with belief, repetition, and emotional resonance. This is not magic. It's not fluff. It's not wishful thinking. It's conscious neuroplasticity in action. And it begins the moment you take your inner dialogue seriously. So the next time you speak, especially when no one's listening, remember, you're not just making sounds. You're programming your perception, your choices, and ultimately, your future. Here on Speech and Mind, we'll explore exactly how to do that, how to master your inner dialogue, how to align your language with your vision, not your fears, and how to bridge the gap between the person you are and the person you are becoming. You'll learn how to use intentional speech to reprogram your subconscious, silence destructive self-talk, and rewrite internal narratives. Speak from the end, as Neville Goddard taught, not from your current conditions, but from your desired identity. Apply scientifically backed practices to strengthen mental clarity and belief. This is not just about positive thinking. It's about conscious speaking. It's about taking radical responsibility for the voice inside you and letting it become the ally, not the enemy. Words have created empires, started revolutions, healed hearts, destroyed them, and in your own life, words have sculpted your identity, your beliefs, your habits, your results. But now, you get to become the sculptor. If you're ready to take that step, to think consciously, to speak deliberately, and to shape your future from the inside out, you're in the right place. This is just the beginning. Welcome to Speech and Mind, where thought becomes form, and your voice becomes your power. Check out our video on Neville Goddard's concept of living in the end and how your self-talk anchors you to the reality you claim. Make sure to subscribe, reflect on your inner dialogue, and remember, your speech is your power.